Kirk or Mr. Spock, both Jewish. So, is this thing working? Am I getting any sound? What is it using for sound? Is it using? Oops. I don't want cameraman. I want my control room. Right here. This is what I want. I'm still using the USB. Can I use this?
How is it? Is it terrible? Anyone in here? The sound is terrible through the headset. If at all. Yes, the microphone is absolutely terrible. Simply terrible. But it does work. Wish I had a boom mic. If I go back over to this one, I can use the headset to hear.
If I just use if I use this USB mic. Correct? And I shouldn't get any feedback. How good is this? Which will be awesome. And these aren't bad. I don't know about long term, but they're not uncomfortable. Anybody in here? I need to know about sound quality. I need to do a sound check, man. Not really telling me through my own system how good it is. What's up, Rover? Playing head games with my new headphones. Playing headphone games. Yeah, I'm still using this mic. But I want to switch it over to the headset. Tell me how terrible this is.
It'll take a second. That's pretty terrible, huh? I'm getting like really crappy feedback. It kind of sounds like I'm in an airplane flying over, Saskatchewan. Yeah, I can boost the volume. That's not the problem, but the sound quality is just horrendous, correct? Input volume, not output volume. Oh, I got it pretty much max. The volume's there, but it just sounds like crap. I can even hear that through my system. It sounds like garbage. We're going back to the USB micro. Okay, we should be much better now. And there still should be less feedback because I'm using the mic now. I'm not using. Oh, didn't switch over, didn't? Nope, it's still on. It's still on the. What's up, One Raz? I'm playing with my new headset here, and I'm not liking it. Okay, what do I do with my Hangout? Here it is. The mic. I want to kick over to the
USB mic. Save. That should be much better. Yeah, even I can hear that. These aren't uncomfortable for $35. They're tiny. They remind me very much of the original. They remind me of the original Walkman headphones, way back with the very first tape recorder or Walkman. Anyway, so we're gonna stick with this mic and these for my headset for the speakers. And then I should have a clearer sound because I don't have the audio coming out of the TV at me, at least for now. Oops. I just got rid of the chat like a dummy. Chat, come back, chat. I gotta pop out the chat. I have no chat. Okay, chat, where are you? There we go. Start loading up the chat. Come on, stop with the spinning wheel BS. And then we can get into designing this awesome top. I have to redesign because it doesn't really spin well. It's just plain too heavy, I think. There we go. Pop this out. Go on. Pop out chat. Thank you. I can get rid of this window. And I can get rid of this window because this is just email, which I don't care about. We don't need it running. What else do I have running in the background that I don't need? Nothing. Nothing that I can see, anyways. Audio level. So we should be good now. Who's all in here? One Raz and Rover. That's it. This is all proto pasta. And I manually switched stuff and I put it a real high. I think I got like 6 shells. I was having problems with they all printed just fine. You can't really see it. There's one purple layer here of the galactic purple from Protopasta, which I've had nothing but extrusion problems. And they kept saying, "Oh, you got to turn the temp up." So I maxed it out. It says 225 on the roll, so I was doing 225 and 230, and it was still under extruding and giving me problems. And I finally bitched at them today, and they got back to me and said, "No, we got to change our label. It really needs to be like 240, 245. That's pretty much anything lower than that, and you're gonna have extrusion problems with that particular color / glitter / HDPLA mix. I guess the color and the resin and everything doesn't like each other well. So they're like, do it at 240, 245. And I spit it out at 240, and that bottom came out perfect. Came out absolutely smashing. So Protopasta is 240 now. I used to burn it at 225, 230, and now it's going to be 240 pretty much strictly. 240, 245. But the top looks pretty cool. Doesn't that look cool? Sorry for the delay, was killing ants. Oh, you mass murderer, you. Just kidding. Kill all the ants you want. There's enough ants in the world. I don't think that's something we're going to exterminate. They are not going to become a endangered species anytime soon. Ants, rats, cockroaches, they're going to all outlive us. No matter how much we exterminate them. Excuse me. It's my top. I was going to do a whole video on it, and it doesn't really work very well, and the Protopasta failed originally. I still might do it. I just might start all over tomorrow. It actually says stuff on here. Not that you guys can see it because the text is kind of small. What's up, Robbie Mac? Hey, dude, jump! You want to jump in here? I'm gonna post the link to this. I'm using my new headphones. I want to hear what someone else talking sounds like. I really don't want to make it a big thing tonight because I don't want a lot of people in here because I'm just too tired, to be honest with you. And I have lots to do tomorrow. Lots of running around with my father in the morning, and then all my brothers are coming here. All of them. And we're all going to the lawyers to do paperwork because we have to take care of all that crap tomorrow. So all of my brothers are here. I have a rather large family. So all of them will be here. All but one. There's one that lives in Delaware. He's in Chicago now. Chicago? No, Denver. He's in Denver now. No, they move him around a lot. Yeah, he's in Denver now. He's the only one that won't be here. Anyway, so I'm going to be busy tomorrow. So it's going to be an easy night. Early night. So somebody jump in here so I can hear them talking through my headphones and make sure this is all working properly, which I'm pretty sure it is. It's pretty easy. I hooked them up when I was playing music through iTunes. These things are really nice sounding. And they're really quite cheap. And they're actually kind of comfortable. I didn't think they would be. They're really small earpieces. Really small earpieces. Oh, these were cheap. I wouldn't have bought them if they weren't cheap. They're JBLs. They were on sale. They're normally like $60, and I got them for $35 on Amazon right now. They're all Bluetooth, and they have a mic, which I don't know if you were here earlier when I was using the mic that's in them, but the mic isn't worth using. But it should, when I get into chats with the people, I was always getting a mild echo, even with all this blast guard here and everything. I was getting a mild echo through Hangouts. But that should go away now because I'm using the headset for my own sound. But I need somebody to jump in here. Remy Mac, jump in here. Come on, buddy. Need to hear somebody else yakking. Yakety yakking. I actually have work this week too. Supposed to go there tomorrow, but I gotta call him and tell him I'm not gonna be there tomorrow because I forgot all about all the lawyery crap I have to do tomorrow with my brothers. No, I don't think they will. I was a little concerned about that too, but they're wicked soft. I mean, they are. There's probably 3/4 of an inch of super soft padding. They are tiny. I mean, they're smaller than my ear. Like I said, when I was talking about them earlier, they're literally like the old time. I had the original, very first model Sony Walkman tape player, and they actually came with these kind of. They didn't have the little foamy headphones. They came with these kind of headphones, the very first model. And these remind me of those a lot because those were actually really comfortable. I actually like them better than the ones, the earplugs and all that come now. Well, somebody hop in here. Raz, hop in here. Somebody hop in here. Rover, one of you guys. I need one other person here so I can hear this going on here. Now I'm going to start redesigning the top because it doesn't work well. I mean, it works. I can make it work. I lean this thing down a little more. You see the desk? But I can't spin it this way. It just keels over. But if I palm spin it, it works. It just needs higher speed. Believe it or not, it's actually almost, even though it was very close, it wasn't actually riding on the edge yet. It does work. It just needs higher speeds to operate properly. And it's all Protopasta. The red's actually the matte finish Protopasta. I really like that red. It's like a faded dull. It's deep, but it's not glossy. Matte. It's a matte finish red. What's up, Radio Man? There's my usual culprits. Do you guys actually get notifications? Is it going back to notifications yet? You know what else I've noticed? The last 3 or 4 live streams I've done, I actually scheduled. Well, normally when I do these, I just hop on and go. And I'm wondering if the scheduling is what's making it so it's not sending out the notifications properly. I literally used to just fire it up, and within 2 or 3 minutes, there was a couple of, Robbie Mac would pop in, Rover, TK, Jake from State Farm, Matt. They're usually here already. And I'm wondering if it's because I actually started scheduling it, like this one I scheduled it like 20 after 9 or 20 after 8 for 9 o'clock. Are you? Well, that's good. At least somebody is. Because nobody was getting them on the last 2, I think I did. Oh. When I sit down, I start yawning. I gotta stop sitting down, I guess. The only bad thing is I can't wear my hat. I suppose I could actually. It would be kind of weird looking, but probably uncomfortable. So anyways, I really need somebody else to jump in here, but that's life. I actually want to talk to Knack too, because we'll see how that his belt printery thing's going. So anybody know the physics of these things? Why is this thing so I can't do it with my finger? I'm pretty sure because I just made it too heavy evenly. I need to make it heavier out here, lighter in here. Basically what I have to do is make the handle and the tip You're working on it, man. Well, tell him to get his butt in here. I haven't seen him since New Year's. Has he even put out a video? Oh, he's put out a video since New Year's, has he? I haven't seen anything. Oh, crap. You're working on his logo? Is that what you do, is logos? Fix mine. You know, it's so weird. I went to college for doing like logos and design and computer animation and all that crap. That's what I went to college for. And now I just can't do it anymore. I'm much more mechanical than I am imaginative of things like logos. I mean, my logo's not terrible, but I'd really like it better. Oh, stop yawning, damn it. There's no need for that. I'm out of freaking soda. Mini sodas. I got mini sodas. They were on sale. It's like $1.25 for a 6-pack of mini sodas. So I got mini sodas. I was hoping it would prevent me from drinking so much soda, but it just means I'm drinking 10 or 12 of them a day instead of 5 or 6. I drink too much soda. Actually, I think I got a glass of water back there. Anyway, so I really need someone else to jump in here, but that's life. I'm going to fire up Fusion and play with this stupid top. Yes, you should print a top. Tops are cool, especially this top. This is going to be a special top when it's all done. I made a whole video and recorded everything and did the whole 9 yards when I was designing it, printing it, and do a whole thing. It doesn't really work that well, and the protopasta failed in a couple spots, so I had to redo some stuff. Ooh. So I had to redo some stuff. Mr. Bertram, what is happening? Mr. Buttman. You're the butt puppet. Oh, you're the butt ram. Or is it you get rammed up the butt? Hey, let's not go there. I'm trying to keep this a cleaner thing from now on. It ain't gonna happen, but I'm gonna try. Alright, where's my Fusion? Who was your 100th sub? I was? Was I really? Have I even subbed to you? Do you even have videos? I have a hard time paying attention. You guys watch Fun King this afternoon? That was pretty good. Glenn did pretty good with that whole box I sent him. Let's see. Let's entire screen share. Sharing. Not seeing, but sharing. I got way too much stuff here. So I gotta change this a lot. When I designed it, I had a feeling I didn't make it wide enough. So let's go way back in this time chain here. I'm thinking I need to go one more back. What the hell just happened? Oh, I know what happened. There are no bodies yet. So I wonder if I pull another one over here and go down 20. Oops. I go down 20, negative 20. Negative 20. Not 20, but negative 20. I don't know if this will work with the that one. I want to do this. What about there? Stop sketch. So I want to edit this now. And I want to see if I can go from that one, edit feature, and add this one last. Well, let's suck it down in. Looks like it did, didn't it? It surely did. It sucked it right down inside. That's pretty awesome. So to make it a little more awesomeness, let's change this to 40. Okay. Let's change this one. Also, what's up, Jake? Maddie Jake? That's not what I want to. I want to change this. No. Change that. That one I already changed, so I didn't want to change this one to 35. Actually, that's, 35. And this one to 25. Let's suck in even more. That gives me a much better donut. Oh, the problem is if I go all the way to the end, my text probably isn't going to work anymore. And it's computing, and it's not going to compute very well because I got the video going. Oh, there it goes. It did make it work, just not very well. So that's no good. Wonder why it's doing that. Let's edit this one. Yeah, that should still line up. Bring it right up to there. Stop sketch. Go one more forward. Yeah, that worked out pretty good. Why is Fusion freaking out? No, still didn't like it. Warning, extrude. What is my warning? Model is using cache geometry to solve. Please reselect geometry. Close. Well, yeah. Edit feature. So from object, select the object. I wanted to go from that object. I wanted to cut into it. 4 whole millimeters. Yeah, Glenn was pretty. Xander's faces were the best. All right, that worked. That actually worked better than I was expecting. Oh, that worked really well. Okay. I'll leave that one. So the little yellow thing should go away now. Once the little spinning frickin' beach ball of hell goes away. Oh, now what? You need selections. You just did the calculations and said everything was fine. Oh, okay, now it's going to be on there. All right. So I got to go to here. This one to do the same thing. I'll turn this one on here. I want to move it up here, just like the other one. General area. Bigger text though. So I can leave it. Let's turn off the bold, I guess. That didn't really make any difference, did it? Make it like 37. So we can leave it bold and yet still get it in the right area. Okay. Then going forward. Yes, I know you're still having issues calculating that because I need to fix that. That multicolor on the Fun King head. Which one? Oh, the eye patch? Oh, that's just magic markers. I just drew on it with a magic marker. Feature. I have to tell it to select this. I want it to cut. and do the whole beach ball thing. And it cut it in there just fine. So, okay. That means all of those. Yeah, it came out pretty well considering. Yeah, I did that way back, like, oh God, I think it was around Thanksgiving. Whatever had his eye operation done. I did that, and I didn't let it go public because it's, as he stated, I was kind of making fun of his issues with his eyesight. And I actually texted it to him, oh God, way long time ago. And I was like, dude, I'm not going to put this out in the public because, I don't want you to think I'm making fun of, a bad issue. If it's going to hit a sore spot, I won't make it go public. And he just sent me back a text of him laughing so hard. Him and his kids were worried, and they almost pulled over on the side of the highway. They were going to that fair with the FK1 there, or whatever one it was, Maker Fair, or whatever it was, the 3D printing fair that he was heading to. It was showcasing the FK1, I guess. So he saw the humor in it, at least. Yeah, I should have wrote. It's actually the Pirate King. It's not. He said, the blind one king or the one-eyed fun king. It's like, that's not the one-eyed fun king. It's the Pirate King. Yeah. No, I do think though he needs to take the Chris Riley ad and just drill a hole in it and jam it on the top of the FK1. Make it go round with the lead screws like I do with my little llama heads. That'd be too funny. I should have sent him the Walter head too. Send him a Walter head. He could have a Walter and Chris Riley going around on the FK1. That would be funny. You guys saw this too, right? That I finally got the balance on this. I now have a Walter. I got to do some finalizing and everything, but I don't know if you guys have seen this. There's a video out of this. And now I got a Walter bobblehead. Oh, you can't see it because I got screen share on, huh? Let's turn screen share off. Now you can see it. There's a Walter bobblehead. Yeah, no, I just had the screen sharing on. But I have a video out of the Walter bobblehead. Yeah, bobbles. Just got to find a way to attach the screws properly and then make a body that they fit in. So it doesn't do that. But it bobbles. Yeah, until the screws move. Or the bolts move. Yep. Oh, there's a goofy little boy. Yep. If I just rock my chair, his head will keep bobbling. Yep. Walter's a bobblehead. Yep. And what did I do with it? I started really doing a very small rough end. You guys will get a kick of this if you haven't seen it yet. This is going to be the body. So it's going to be a bobblehead Walter on the toilet. And actually, I think the ultimate plan is I'm going to make 3 of these in a circle, basically in a triangle. And I'm going to have a Walter head and a Fun King head and a Chris Riley head. And it'll be the round throne, the Fun in the Country Basement round throne, like round table, like Arthur's round table, but it'll be the round throne. or something along those lines. The fun in the country basement throne room. There you go, throne room. Fun king in the basement throne room. Fun king in a country basement throne room. There you go. That way it's got, the throne room. So yeah, all that's going on. Plus I'm working on the top. I'm trying to get this done. And so, yeah. Trying to get 18 different things done. Plus, the knife I videoed building Walters. Walters got one too. And I'm trying to stitch that together, which is what I actually should be working on. So I can have that released. They're all going to be facing out. So it'll be the circle and they'll all be facing out, bobbing their heads. I almost wanted to make it so it's a central pivot and all three heads are on one pivot so it would go like around. That would just be too funny. And then I wouldn't need any counterbalance because all their heads would be the counterbalances. Just have a single pivot in the middle, you know what I mean? And the three. That way you just hit one of them and all three of them start bobbling. That would be fun. Oh, future thoughts. This is kind of a pain because this is a lot of weight. And this is only 2 shells with only 10% infill. I could make it smaller, which means I need less weight. What I got to do, I think, instead of using bolts, I got to find myself some lead. I used to have a whole bunch of it around here, and I can't find any of it. But if I can actually get lead, I can make a smaller ball of it. Yeah, no, I figured he'd like the knife. I couldn't believe Xander's face when he saw the Pirate King, though. He just, that was hilarious. And then he's got all the little rubbery things on his fingers, too. That was funny. I think Xander was the best part of that. Yeah, the knife came out good. Chris's came out good, too. Walter's is fancier. Walter's I did 2-color, and it's all not protoplast, polyalchemy. It just doesn't, because Walter's just says country, in his little logo text. And it just doesn't look as good. Text never looks good to me, 3D printed. It just doesn't. Wondering how this is going to come out. I shouldn't say that. Text flat doesn't look good. When you print it upright sometimes, if you can get it to print upright, it looks all right. I don't know why it doesn't. You'd think flat would be easier for it to do, but it always looks like crap. Anyway, let's get back to the top because that's important. So I need to go way back here. Yes, I know I'm screen sharing. Let's see. Way back here in time. Edit this. Make it much, much smaller. Make sure that's all I'm on, right? Yes, D. It's at 120 now. I think I need to make it like 90. Where's the other one if it's already extruded out? Oh, I remember now. So I'm going to go all the way back to this one. And sketch. D. 120 also. So I want to make that like 80. Whoops, 80. But even smaller. Does make that smaller. I want to change this extruder feature because I want to change the taper angle. Where's my little controller? There it is. Oops, wrong way. Let's go with like -6. It looks like a top handle, right? Nice and thin. Still looks too big, don't it? Yeah, doing those knives was not actually all that easy. Wait till you see the video of how I actually have to go about doing that. To build those 3 knives. I mean, they're cheap. They're $5 knives, and they're actually really nice. I've been looking to do those knives, not necessarily for them, but for myself even, ages. I'm trying to find a full-bodied knife that just had a, like these wood ones. These have, the wood infill, but that's too small and too much work to pop the wood out and replace it with 3D print. It's all brass. This is a nice knife. Those are too, actually. They're not bad for $5. That was the first one I could find. I found real expensive ones, and they didn't have a full body. They were all, yeah, those are Husky. They're $4.95 or something. They're really ridiculously cheap, and they have a full aluminum body handle underneath the pad. Most of them, the actual handle and the grip, like this one, is all one. And they're nice, but they're all one. So if I go to replace it, there's no structure underneath the 3D print. The 3D print would be holding all of the guts together, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have those have 2 thin sheet metal bodies going back to hold everything in place. They have inputs, and they're structural. So then the plastic's just slapped over it for decoration, basically, give it some width so you're not grabbing an ultra thin thing in your hand. Those are the only ones I've ever found that are, full body, undercoat. I guess you'd call it full aluminum shell. I'm gonna make that one even smaller. Edit sketch. Why does it do that? That's what bothers me. I mean, I know I can go like this and just go, self-center. But that's just obnoxious that I have to do that. It should know to put the body in the center. Go at 70. I like that. And then this extrusion. This one goes back first. Let's make that only like 15. I don't need 20 no more. There's not 20 there. And make this extrusion 17. Now when I shrink this, 18. That looks good. I'm going to change this one because I know I got way too much taper on it. I don't need that much taper. I also don't need that much height. I need like 60. Then put the taper on it. The point, and there we go. That looks more like a top point, don't it? And we can go all the way to the end. What's up? Razor shell? What do you mean the razor shell? What do you mean when you say razor shell? The whole knife's there, even when I take the handles off. I think I still got the handles. It's just a grip that I take off and replace with plastic. And then I take the rivet, I have to drill the rivets out. They're all riveted together, which is the bitch. Took me a long time. That last one, I did it all backwards, of course. I don't know why I do it right twice. The last one, well, videotaping, I do it all wrong. It just makes a whole lot of stupid sense on my part, but you know how that is. I want to make this more like 60, I guess. More natural. And I want to edit this because I don't need it that big anymore. Doesn't need to be anywhere near that big anymore. Do want that going down into there. And that looks about right. Sketch. And that looks about right, except for I don't want to extrude it that much. No. I don't know what to do. Let's do 7. Halfway in between, what does that look like? It doesn't look too terribly bad. Maybe do 5. Actually, let's go down to 6. Yeah, that looks alright. Let it wrap around. And that looks about right. Waiting for Murph 2019. What do you do while you're waiting for Murph 2019? You spin a top. It really does distort it when you do that, huh? I'm liking that though. Oh, you know what I gotta change? I have to change this here. I know I do. Where is that handle? Actually, do I? Well, maybe not. Well, a little more of an indent there, I think, huh? Yeah, a little bit more. It's back here somewhere. It's this one. Go 35. What about your entrance? Oh, just that you entered and that's something special? No, it's got a little knobby on the top. Little crown, all gnarly. What do you want, Fusion? Just do what you're told. Actually, see, it's got the little crown at top for grabbing. And spinning. But I think I want to make that a little shorter even, huh? Let's go with 200. Let's crank this in a little bit more. Which means I'm going to have to change that last Crowny sketch thing because I got to drop it all down 50 millimeters. And yes, I'm designing this supersized. The whole idea of this is once I finish my little regular hand size one, I'm going to do one massively huge. The full-sized one will take up a full 300 millimeter bed plate. Yeah, you know, that's almost not too bad with it up there anyways. But yeah, I gotta move that. Edit, sketch. Looking directly right, yes. It needs to go right about there. Stop, sketch. And there we go. Point back on it. That should be a halfway decent top, huh? I have those lined up properly. Looks like it. Yeah, they're pretty close. Not exactly across from each other, but no one would know it but me. Which one's actually off? The Murph 2019 is. No, really not. No, you don't have to split it at all. You can print this just the way it is. I have one right here in my hand. That's smaller, but the pin and the handle pop out. They're separate bodies. Oops. So you print this flat the way it is. And then you print the handle and the point as separate pieces. And then you just snap them into place. It looks like I got it pretty good. And that bothers me is this seam. I originally had the text going over it, and it only did half of it. And I was like, what the hell's going on? And I don't know why it seems like that when you're just doing because it's a loft. But it does. Saved. I will have to print it tomorrow. I'm certainly not doing it now. But there's that. Stop. Stop. As you can see, here it is. So the first iteration, which does work, but not well, which is why I was redesigning it. It's pretty cool. It's all in protopasta. It's all a bunch of different protopastas. Randomly switched out, pretty much randomly. The only thing I did is I wanted the red where the text is because these dark blues and greens don't show text very well. Red actually doesn't either, but it won't stand up. I can't get it spinning fast enough. doing it by hand. If I spin it, if I palm spin it. Let's try that again. It does work. There it goes. I've gotten it to go pretty good. There it goes. Yeah, there we go. Just needs higher speed. It needs a lot more speed because it's too tall. It's not too evenly weighted. It needs more weight on the outside, which is why the new design I have it instead of just coming up here, I have it coming up and then going back down. That's going to add another whole shell layer on the outside edge, adding that much more weight to the outside. I've made all this thinner. This is much shorter and thinner. So is protopasta denser? Yes. HTPLA in general, the 8500 and 8700, or not 8500, 850 resin and the 870 PLAs, which are the HTPLAs. If you buy an HTPLA, a true high temperature PLA, not a PLA plus, but an HTPLA, which is what protopasta uses. There's three versions. There's an 830, an 850, and an 870. They are much denser than standard PLA. I shouldn't say much. They're denser. They're heavier, which is why I actually used all my quadcopters. I was using HTPLA, and the only reason I went to PETG is not for strength, because the HTPLA I think is actually stronger. It is stiffer. Do you want stiffness in the quadcopter? Some areas you do, some areas don't. But I went to the PETG because the PETG is a good bit lighter. I lost, I think, about 8 or 9 grams off my big quadcopter by just switching over to PETG. What is up, you do it? So yeah, the HTPLAs are heavier. HTPLA is very weak. Annealed HTPLA is very strong. There's the difference. HTPLA is the weakest of all of them. It's weaker than standard PLA. It's weaker than ABS. It's weaker than PETG until you anneal it. And then it smokes them all. Once you anneal it, it does a better temperature range. Well, it does a better temperature range than PETG. It does less of a temperature range than ABS. But you can pour boiling water in it. I have HTPLA stuff that goes in the dishwasher. I have a sponge cup, and I have my sink drains because we had a special sink we bought because women, they got to have this thing that they see with a side drain instead of the center drain. And of course, it had a different cup, the actual cup coming down into your drain. And it's a special size and everything. And of course, you can't get a regular screen for it. So I designed one. I made a few of them. No, PLA plus means absolutely nothing. That's what PLA plus means. Some of them do use HTPLAs, some of them do not. PLA plus can mean, in the case of matter hackers, with their extremely expensive PLA plus, is not an HTPLA. It's not a high temperature PLA. It only means that they use a higher tolerance laser driven extruder. So instead of it being plus or minus 0.05, it's plus or minus 0.02. That's the only difference between PLA plus for maker or matter hackers and their build series PLA. It's the same crap. Exactly the same material. And they use better, but it's different also. Like eSuns PLA Plus is a semi HT PLA. It does take a higher temperature to run it. It cannot be annealed. Come to find out. I shouldn't say it can't be annealed. It doesn't take annealing well. It kind of curls up and does weird crap. It doesn't like annealing as much as Protopastas, Maker Geeks. Unfortunately, God, I love Maker Geeks Raptor because that thing that you can't see over there is all Maker Geeks Raptor. All annealed. IHN2, what the hell does that mean? Yeah. Plus all depends on the manufacturer and what their plus means. Some of them do use, some of the US ones use HTPLA or HT resins. Some don't. Some use a mixture of the HT resin and standard resin, giving them kind of an in-betweeny thing. It gives it more flexibility. The 850 PLA resin, 850 resin, 850A, is both hotter to actually glass and will go hotter for annealing. But it's actually the stiffest. The 870, no, wait a minute. The 850 doesn't go quite as hot, but is actually stiffest. The 870 has more flexibility into it even after annealing. It's stronger in the sense that it'll take more to break it, but it starts bending earlier. It's the 870 is very much like ABS. It's also the most expensive. Who was I just looking at? There's a company now that has it all broken down for you. Maker Geeks, unfortunately. Their Raptor resin was awesome. It was actually a mixture of the 850 and the 870, from what I understand. I'm not positive, but that's what I heard. Protopasta has a combination. That's why they have an HTPLA 1, 2, and 3. The 1 and 2 are both 850s, from what I understand, and 3 is a mixture of 870 and 850, which is actually softer but less prone to break. It's more flexible, so it doesn't break as easy. That's what I've heard. Plus just means a company did something maybe a little bit better. They just stuck it on there because they wanted to make it sound good. The plus doesn't necessarily mean anything. It all depends on the company. You need to look at it. It needs to say HTPLA to be an HTPLA. US Monofilaments is supposedly an HTPLA, one of the better ones. They make monofilament, so they got to be damn good at extruding stuff. I ordered some rolls last week from them, and I've not heard a word. So I'm thinking they're just another friggin' Maker Geeks, and it's gonna really piss me off because you can order direct through US Monofilaments, or you can order through Folger Tech. Folger Tech has the price cheaper, but then it's like $7 in shipping. Direct from US Monofilaments, it's $5 more expensive, but it's free shipping. So it's like $2 cheaper to order it direct through them, even though it was more expensive. That makes sense. Yeah, it's not a problem on the hot ends. That's all on the whole hot end on that one is it was originally Protopasta because as I was demoing, well, you can't really see it over there, but the whole hot end assembly, the carriage, all the fans, all the fan ducts, the one that wraps around the V6, the V6 hot end on there, that whole wrap around, it's all one piece, and it's all HTPLI, and I have no problems with it once you anneal it. I did have problems with the first one I did. It did start drooping. It got hot and started. And the only thing that drooped was the actual fan around the extruder area, the lower half of it. But it actually made the whole thing droop because that's where it was clipped. At the time, it's not anymore. But that I never annealed. This one I annealed. And that looks brand new. That's like 2 years old, that one I pulled out of the video, and it's still in there. I am going to replace it because the hole's wearing out. So when I go to stick filaments in, I did that originally so I could do flexibles. But the hole's wearing out so much now that the filaments are like wobbling in there. They're not going straight in. So when they go to actually hit the middle part of the hot end, it doesn't necessarily line up. And I keep getting, not jams, but when I first go to insert it, it'll catch on the lip. It's just plain worn out. The other caution you got to worry about is when you pull the filament out, you do a lot of cold pulls and stuff, you do it too hot. When you pull the filament out, if it's really liquid, it'll actually weld to the extruder. It's the plastic extruder. And all of a sudden you got a big bump, you got to go in there with a knife or something or a drill and ream it out. Yeah, real PLA will. I'll tell you what, if you go on, I don't have the pictures anymore, but if you go on Thingiverse and you look up my extruder that I designed, you'll see mine sitting next to the original ABS one. The ABS one's all melted on the bottom. Now, it's also melted because it was printed in literally one shell with like 10% infill, which is part of the reason why I was replacing it, because it was all breaking and cracking in places. It was literally just one shell, 10 or 20% infill, which is just ridiculous. Because this one I printed at like 6 shells with 40% infill, which is much more solid. But I never annealed it. Never annealed it once, and it looks brand new. It literally looks exactly the same the day I made it, and it's 2 years old. Because I don't know, when did I post that? I think late 2016 I posted that. I think I did. And I run it. Anything I do on that printer and I post, I run it for at least a month before I post it. Make sure it's going to hold up. Yeah, but even regular PLA, you can anneal. It's just going to deform on you. But if you actually anneal it, that's the other thing that I've learned. I anneal everything in place if I can. Like if I'm going to wrap it around the hot end, when I anneal it, the hot end's in there in the oven with it. I'll take stuff out of it. When I annealed this, I actually took the fan duct, the cold end of the hot end, and I actually snapped it in there and annealed it. That way any shrinkage or distortion distorts around the aluminum and held it in place. It actually made it tighter, I think. And it fit really well. Oh, crap. So 10 o'clock. Yep. So there's my new top. I think I'll be printing that first thing in the morning before my brothers show up, since they're all going to show up here fairly early tomorrow. Oh, gosh, darn it. Oh, one more day of quiet. I got to go back to work on Wednesday or Thursday. I was actually supposed to go back to work tomorrow, but my brothers are going to show up. So I got to call that dude tomorrow and say I can't show up there until Wednesday. I really didn't want to do that. Oh, well, that's life. Yep. So that's HTPLA. This is all. That's what I've learned about HTPLA. Now, this is all just what I've read and learned and done over the years. So some of my information could actually be wrong, and I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. And the people that really contact us, like Protopasta or US Monofilaments, if they'd ever respond, I'm not ready to yank my payment on them. I haven't heard a word from them in it's been quite a week yet. Let's look and see what they say, if they say anything. I really wanted that US monofilament to work out because they're right up in Vermont. They're close. It's a local company. They make everything themselves. Supposedly really high quality because, I understand they actually make monofilament. That's how they got their name. And it's all HTPLAs and it's all the 850 resins or 870s. I think they had the 872. And nothing. I haven't heard a word. And I ordered it on when did I order it? The 8th. And today is the 14th. And it's not that I haven't gotten it. It's that I haven't even heard back from them. Like, we're shipping it. We got your order. Thank you. None. And I emailed them on Friday and said, hello, is it going to ship? When's it going to ship? Is there a problem with shipping? Nothing. So I'm thinking, they could just be on vacation. There is a boatload of snow up in Vermont. This is the first full week back to life since the holidays, so they might have taken another week and not been there. From what I understand, it's only like 3 or 4 guys running the place. I don't know how true that is. But I have an order and would like to get my material, if at all possible. Don't you think that would be a thing? It's actually, just so reminding me of freaking Maker Geeks. I'm so thinking that those guys are Maker Geeks, and the guy bought. Because I heard Maker Geeks back like a year and a half ago bought another filament manufacturer who was just because US Monofilaments has been making 3D printing filament for a while for other people. They sold nothing under their own name. It's only when Folger Tech contacted them, because they're literally like 20 miles away from each other, from what I understand, or some crap, that they started producing their own name stuff, and Folger Tech is selling it for them. Or you can buy it direct. That's what I heard. Again, I don't know how true it is. It's just rumors flying around. I really, really, really wanted it to be good stuff. Because they're local. And I like supporting the little guy. And it's local. Vermont. I could drive up there in about 3 hours and grab some stuff. No, we don't need another Maker Geeks. You know what really sucks is I really love their filament. And I had bad rolls. I did get a couple of bad rolls way back in the beginning of me dealing with Maker Geeks years ago. And they were very quick to respond, very quick to replace them. Everything was fine. I actually got a roll that the filament was football shaped. Looked like that coming off the roll. Literally looked like a football. It was like 2.5 wide and only like 1.1 wide thick. It was literally football shaped. I couldn't even get it to go into an extruder or anything. And I emailed them, and literally the next day they shipped me out a new roll, which was amazing because it took me like 3 weeks to get that roll. But then, within a day or two, I had the other roll. They shipped it overnight and everything. And it was great. And I had a couple other issues with them. They sent a wrong color once, or no, they sent ABS instead of PLA once. And I'm like, you want it back? There's nothing wrong with the roll. It's just ABS. And they're like, no, you know what? Just give it away to somebody. Just trade it off. So, and again, they took care of it really quick. And this last year has just been terrible. Wrong materials, wrong colors. They sent me some forest green. It says forest green on the label. It's army green. It is army green is not forest green. Forest green should be nice and dark and a nice green. This was olive drab army green. Yeah, we don't need another Maker Geeks. I wish somebody would buy them out. I wish there was a way to just go in and take them over. Because the information's there, the technology's there. I mean, everything's there. It just needs somebody that knows how to run the business. Needs to stop being a moron. Needs to cut his line in half. He's trying to make too much for such a small company. He needs to do like Protopasta does, where they have specialties. Have his own special colors. Don't do the generic red, green, blue, black, white, yellow. Do some like burgundies and some teals, but don't have the ABS, PETG, the freaking regular, the Raptor, the crystals, the TPUs and TPEs and TDL Filament Corp. What's that? Somebody else had a name the other night, and I'd heard it before, and now I can't remember who it was. And it was on somebody's live stream. They said, you should try this filament. It's US made, and they do it in Tom D. Lama. Actually, it's D. Tom Lama. I wish I could. Dude, if I had the money, I probably would. I would love to get into that. I just think that would be like a dream job for me. That would be my dream job, is to run a filament / Twitter. Check out your notifications. Somebody notified me on Twitter. Who notified me on Twitter? What's going on Twitter? Somebody likes and retweets, and there are 7 notifications on Twitter waiting for you. That's very nice. You know what? I just don't care at the moment. I'm about ready to sign off. Actually, it's after 10. I was going to sign off at 10. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to go. Have fun, guys. It was interesting. I redid my top. Now I have the new top. And I'll print that tomorrow. And I'm going to do it in Protopasta again. Except for I don't have any more Tom's Orange. All these orange bands right here. You can't really see them too well, but there's a bunch of really thin orange bands. There's one here. There's a little thin one here. There's a little thin one here. There's a little thin one here. And there was one on the point. The original point is in there. They were all that Tom's Orange. They were the sample we got at Earth. I don't have any more. I burned it all up on that. Oh well. Anyways, yeah, I'm out here. Later Rover and Mr. Boutron and T-Rex and Jake from State Farm, Matt, and whoever else is here. Have a good night, guys. I'm off. Seizure.